everyone, it's Sky here and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new. So today we are on part 3 of our September color along. I'm super excited to get back into this. I think we're going to tackle her dress today and maybe a few kind of other random objects. We have quite a bit to this page. We've got butterflies, we've got this cute little duck or goose. I guess it could technically be whatever you wanted it to be. I've seen people color it as both. We've got some foliage, we've got the sky, some trees, well, a tree, more so just flowers from the tree, and then her little reading stuff. So we've got like a picnic blanket and her book. I said previously in the last part that I want to try and make this sky instead of like a hill, because I like the looks of that so much better. So I want to try and get rid of this line. I'm really hoping it works out. I'm just going to use a Posca pen for that, and then just go over it a little bit through the video to kind of prepare for when we do the sky. The sky will probably be one of the last things I do, I think. I might change my mind on that, but it'll definitely be later on for sure. So I definitely want to do the dress. I'm still thinking kind of like a light blue, kind of like her eyes, and then white flowers, because I think that would be super pretty. And then I think I do want to do this as, we could do it as a goose actually. Well, these I think are daffodils. I think. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Let me just search this up here real quick. Yeah, daffodils. So they're kind of like yellow and orange. So it kind of makes sense to have this as a duck, to have some more yellow, but then at the same time, this is a decent sized piece on the picture. And I don't really want to put yellow in like a whole lot of different places. We could put yellow on the butterflies, like little yellow accents. Really, Lilo? Are you done? Okay. We could put yellow accents on the butterflies. I want to... Lilo? Hey, you. What are you doing? Just playing with an Amazon box. I ordered Carbon a lunch kit, and it came in this huge box, and it still got the crinkly paper in it, so she's trying to get comfy. I can't tell if she likes the paper or hates it. I'm not sure. She looks cozy now though. Anyways, like I was saying, I'm kind of concerned about the balance of the page. Yellow is such a bright color that it will definitely stand out. I can see we do have actually a couple other daffodils kind of facing us here. And I actually don't know if I would want this guy to be yellow because of that, because we'll have 2 other yellow objects right beside him. And I think with having the dress, the flowers on the dress white and the frills, that might be better to have him as a goose. Then he can be white with just a yellowish orange bill, maybe, or even like black. I can't remember. Maybe like a swan. We could do him as a swan. That'd be neat. I'm not sure. I'm undecided on that, but I'm certain on the dress. So let's get started with that. So I'm going to use the same colors that we used for her eyes. So I'm just going to grab those out here. I keep all of the colors that I've used so far, and even the ones that I don't, because I'm too lazy to put them away. So like the burnt ochre and the terracotta that I was going to use for her hair in the last part are in here just because, like I said, I'm lazy. So I just throw everything used or almost used in the box. That way I can kind of pull colors from there as we're working on this to try and keep the palette a little bit more limited and balanced. So now I'm just going to grab... See, we have the periwinkle, the sky blue light, which is right here, and we have the light cerulean blue. Okay, we're also going to want grays. Which grays did we have here? Okay, I'm going to grab these ones and the white, I think. And this will be for like the flowers and the ruffles on her dress, because I don't want them to be just plain white. We want to add some depth to them. So let's see, we've got 70% cool. We've got, I think this is 30, 10, and then white. So 30, 10, and white. All right. So we're going to start with the sky blue light. I'm just going to make sure that my pencil's clean first. And then I'm just going to color in a light base. I'm not too worried about these little dots. They're probably going to be white as well. So I'm just going to go over those with the Uniball Signo pen later on. My Posca pens should be here Friday. They look a little bit different too. I have the 0.7mm ones, but they have more of like a bullet nib to them, whereas the Poscas that I've ordered off of Amazon have like a metal nib and then like a tip piece on it. It just looks kind of weird. So I'm hoping that it's what I was looking for, because Posca pens are expensive. I really don't understand why they don't have them at Michael's. I feel like they would make a lot of money if they sold them there. I should write them a letter. No, just kidding. I am too much of an introvert for that. Even writing a letter seems too personal. I am excited to be home. If I don't talk a whole lot, I apologize. I'm drinking chocolate milk currently because that generally gives me a little bit of energy. There's a lot of protein in chocolate milk. I shouldn't drink it because I suffer from IBS, unfortunately, and milk is one of my triggers. I find that chocolate milk isn't as bad, so I'll drink it occasionally, but energy-wise, it is really helpful. So I'm hoping that will help because work was crazy and I am just super tired. Usually when I'm tired, I don't talk a whole lot, so might just have a relaxing color along, or a relaxing part to the color along this time. Okay, this part, is this part in frame 2? Do we have her whole dress? Okay, we do. Good, good. Because this part will be blue as well. And then the ruffles here on her dress, and then the little flowers will be white. We'll have some really light green. I think we'll do like a little bit of a darker green for the flower leaves. I'm so excited for this. I really hope that this turns out good. I don't even really have a vision for this. I mean, I did up until the last part when we colored her hair, and now that's just kind of all out the window. I'm just winging it now, so I'm hoping it turns out good. Let's go in with the periwinkle. We're gonna start adding our shadows. So there's gonna be a shadow coming out from behind her arms and then under the ruffles as well. I'm not gonna go too dark for now. I want her dress to be kind of light actually, so. Okay, underneath her breasts here. Out from behind this arm as well. The page that Hannah is working on right now, the mid-month page for August, is super cute. I would show you guys, but by the time this video goes out, it's not going to be August anymore, so you wouldn't be able to get it anyways. Maybe I'll post it in the community tabs or something. I never have a problem with advertising Hannah's art because I always just love it. But it's a whimsy girl in a bathtub, and she's super cute. She's got like a little rubber ducky, and I love the whole scene in general. Just like all of like the bathroom stuff and like the little details that Hannah has in the picture just make the whole scene, and I think I might have to print that one off and color it. I eventually want to collect all of my favorite Patreon pages because I will be honest, they're not always my favorite cup of tea. I always love Hannah's work, but it's not always, the pictures don't always inspire me, but some of them just really do. I'm going to go in and just darken up these shadows. So I'll probably take a flash drive of my favorite ones that I know that I want to color for sure and not just collect. I'll take a flash drive and probably get them printed on some decent paper, kind of like I did with my Jade Summer Chibi Girls book, the Chibi Horror, I think it's called. So it'll just be kind of like a random coloring book of some of Hannah's Patreon pages. I love this color for the shadows because even though it's darker than the other colors, it's still super light. And I feel like it's also like a muted tone, which is really nice too. So it has such like an interesting look to it. I'm going to add a shadow pretty much everywhere where this little band or whatever it is kind of comes out or tucks in behind something. Ultimately, my goal is to record at least one part today. I would like to actually record two, but since my phone's almost dead, that's probably not going to happen. I should have charged it yesterday. I wasn't thinking. So maybe Thursday after work, I will color the last two parts. So I don't think I'll get any coloring time tomorrow. Today's Tuesday, the 16th. But I also don't know how tired I'll be on Thursday because we have one of the head honchos kind of visiting, possibly two. So it might be a little bit exhausting. I have a feeling my boss is going to be a little bit crazy because one of the head honchos, I guess he was just newly promoted, doesn't like her. They don't get along, I guess. I'm not sure whose part it's unprofessional on. By the sounds of it, it's his, but I haven't heard his side, nor will I ever because I would never ask about that. But have a feeling that that's going to have my boss a little bit frazzled, so it's going to be a little bit of a chaotic day. I've worked there for 3 years and I've never met any of like the major higher ups. I've met my boss's bosses. They change quite often, but I've met the majority of them. I think all of them since I've started there, but I don't think I've ever met anybody higher up than my boss's boss. So I'm actually a little bit nervous too. So hopefully it goes well. I will try to remember to let you guys know when I film the later parts because I know I'll probably end up filming one after Thursday. So I'll try to remember to let you guys know how it went. Thankfully, I'm pretty good at my job, so hopefully it goes okay. At the same time, though, I feel like company standards and expectations are set like ridiculously and impossibly high. So even I can't get everything done that they want, and I bust my ass there, so I just do what I can. Okay, I think this looks good. I don't think we really need too much more for shadows. I am just going to kind of fade some of these shadows I have out a little bit more soft. Some of them seem a little bit harsh, so I'm just going to fade them out nicely. I want to darken up this shadow along the bottom of her dress here. I think that looks good. Let's go in with our next color. which is the light cerulean blue. So start up here and start adding a little bit of that in there. And this one I want to use lightly because it is quite a bit of a brighter color. So I'm just going to put it over top of the periwinkle. And I'm just going to bring it out lightly. It's going to add a slight pop of color to otherwise muted tones. I'm going to try and leave a little bit of a highlight on these areas here. Do you want to try and get this color as smooth looking as possible? It's a little bit tricky on the paper I'm working on. You might have better luck with whatever paper you printed on. Kind of gently fade these lines out here. I love this blue, like almost purpley tone. It's super pretty. I must have something underneath here. Hopefully I can kind of blend that out, whatever that is, with my lighter pencil. Okay, I really like that. So go in with our cloud blue next, or, sorry, sky blue light. Just gonna lightly color in and then gradually go a little bit darker. So light pressure, get that color in there, and then gradually increase your pressure to burnish the paper. I'm not quite fully able to get rid of that spot, but it's not too noticeable now. It's almost hard to tell where you've colored already. Because even with burnishing the page, it still looks fairly similar. I can find where I left off, but it takes me a couple seconds to kind of see the color difference. I think that looks good. I'm just gonna grab my fan brush here and get rid of any excess pigment. And then I'm just gonna sharpen my pencil. And take a sip of my chocolate milk. And I'm just going to go over any areas that don't look overly smooth. Just try and smooth them out a little bit. I think that looks good. Okay, I'm happy with that. So it's going to do the flowers. I don't know quite how dark I want them. I don't think I want them very dark. So let's go in with the 70% cool gray, and I'm just going to add just the tiniest little shadow around the circle part. Maybe just around some of these edges here where it disappears in behind, just to give it a little bit of depth to it. I'm not too worried about fading it out too much. I almost wish the leaves weren't on this dress. I don't think I want to do them green. I kind of want to leave the dress very, very simple. Simple yet elegant. So I think I'm just going to add a little bit of gray to the leaves as well. And we're just going to kind of do them all white. Let's go in with our 30% cool gray. We want a nice sharp point on these pencils because these flowers are really small and delicate, so don't want to accidentally overdo it. So I'm just going to go over top of the 70% and then just drag out slightly, leaving a little space on the tips of everything, the leaves, the flowers, all of it. I don't know if I said it out loud or just in my head about these dots, maybe doing those gray. I know I was thinking it, but I don't know if I actually said it. But we'll color these flowers first to kind of see what it looks like and go from there. Okay, I'm gonna bring back my 70% cool gray because I did those flowers and leaves all willy-nilly and forgot a couple of them, or maybe just didn't put it dark enough. I'm not sure which. I think that's better. Kind of liking the gray looks of the flowers. I don't know if I really need the whites. I think I'm just going to go over the rest of it with the 10% cool gray. I was playing around with the idea of going over the flower outlines with whites. I might try it on one to see what it would look like. But I'm also kind of just liking it how it is too. Okay, that's really pretty. Okay, let's go tackle those ruffles now. So with the 70% cool gray, I'm just going to create a shadow all along the edge of this, the trim of her dress here. Just gonna lightly fade that out, and then I'm gonna go on the top of each one of these lines, just barely. Kind of fade that out a little bit too. Just deepen up that color a little bit with layers, not adding too much. Maybe a little bit shadowed under her hand here. Same thing on this side. No, normally I would want to put shadows in around the hair, but I'm going to leave it because that's such a small area. I don't want to darken it up too much. Same with here. I'm just going to add a slight shadow, not a whole lot. Okay, I think that's good there. Let's go back in with our 30% cool gray. And same thing as we did with the flowers, we're just going to bring this out a little bit from our 70% cool gray. And then leave some white space. Just kind of darkening that up here and there. Okay, and then in with the 10% cool gray, we are just going to color everything in. Blend it all together. Okay, that looks super cute. I don't think I will outline the flowers. I think it would look too tacky. Let's see what it would look like. I'm gonna use a Jelly Roll 10. So it's a little bit thinner than the Uniball Signo pen. Just gonna lightly go over the flower petals just to kind of see what this will look like. I'm kind of on the fence. I like both, so I think what I'm gonna do is just kind of pick out some to do and leave the others a little bit more bold. I think that's about the only thing to do in this situation. Oops. Let's do them all. I'm not sure if we should do the leaves too. We'll do the petals for now and kind of see what that looks like after. kind of like that as is. Should we do the frills on her dress? Yes. Oh, can't do all of it though. Well, let's go ahead and try. I don't usually white out the edges of anything that's touching something uncolored because chances are I might accidentally go over that line and just color over it, but we'll risk it. We'll see what happens. Now I'm just on the fence about the leaves. I missed a flower up here. I'm gonna leave the leaves as is. And then I'm also on the fence about whether we should leave these dots as is or color them a dark gray maybe. Like the 70% cool gray perhaps. Yeah, I think I like that. There, that's her dress done. All right, so I think let's try and at least tackle the book and the picnic blanket. Okay, so this is everything we've used so far. I'm just gonna tuck that up there. Okay, I'm gonna pick out some book colors because those are fairly simple, and then the picnic blanket I'm not too sure yet. Alright, I got some colors picked out here. You guys should be able to see what we're working on. Okay, since I'm working down here, I'm gonna take a Posca pen. It's not the best, but it should hopefully work. And I'm just gonna start working at these lines. So there's that one there, and then this one on this side here. It's not very often that I alter coloring pages, but I just feel like for this one I just really want to. Should only have to do like 2 or 3 coats to kind of get rid of that. I'm just a little bit worried about coloring over it because I don't know how that'll go, but I mean, I see people do it all the time, so hopefully it goes well. All right, so I'm gonna take our lightest color. We're gonna start on the book here. So it's gonna be the 10% French gray, and I'm just gonna base this along all of the pages. So this bottom line here will be like the cover of the book. Same with like along here, and then this might be the cover as well. But I think I'm gonna color it as paper. think this line is technically supposed to be the cover of the book too. I think for me it's just easier to have that as paper though. You can go ahead and color that as the cover of the book if you'd like. I'm going to stick to paper. So next I'm going to come in with the Artichoke, and I'm going to kind of use this as a shadow color. I don't want too much of this color, so I'm going to add a little bit to the center. And then really nicely fade it out. And add a little bit as like shadow to some of these pages, just kind of randomly. I'm just going to go in along this line here, kind of coloring on either side of it. We can color in on the bottom here. Let's do this one. The bottom of this one, but I'm not going to go all the way. Just kind of where it's got a little bit more area here. Okay, I think that's looking good, so I'm going to go ahead and darken it up a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna kind of go over these little scribbles here. Just like gently, so we're going a little bit harder kind of over top of the scribbles. And then I'm just gently doing like lines on either side to help fade it out that way, so it's a little bit messy. You put a little bit of a shadow underneath the duck goose's foot. Don't know what it is yet. Duck goose swan. I said, just real messy, real messy. A bit darker over here. Okay, I like that. That looks good so far, I think. So let's go in with our ginger root. I'm going to bring this over our shadow here and just kind of lightly blend it out. Actually, let's go back to the Artichoke for a sec. Put a little bit of a shadow in underneath her elbows too. There we go. All right, so now we'll continue with the ginger root. And we'll do a little bit on this side too. Kind of use this to kind of shadow this side to show that the page kind of curves down in towards the spine of the book. Put a little bit of a shadow on the corners here too of the book. Maybe the edges of the bottom. Do this back corner as well. And then I'm just going to add to the shadows here. And just kind of randomly, real messy. Don't really matter. I'm not fully coloring everything, but I'm throwing a decent amount of this color down. Okay, I think that looks good. So let's go in with our lightest color, which is the 10% French Gray. And we're going to use this to burnish everything and finish it off. And just use little circular motions and kind of smudge the darker colors around a bit. I wanted this book to kind of have an aged quality to it, so that's why I went with more of like yellowed tan colors. And then the 10% French Gray does have a slight yellow tone to it, but it's more on like the beige or like white side, so it'll make the yellows stand out a little bit more. Okay, that looks good. So let's go ahead and do the book cover now. So I'm going to go in with the dark green. Just going to add a little bit to the tops and bottom here. I'll fade it out. Add a little bit on the spine here and fade this out. And then we're going to go in with the grass green and finish coloring that in. Go in with my Posca again. This doesn't work very well. The Posca pen, I mean. They're very old. Probably pretty much used up. I feel like that's pretty good though. We probably don't need to go much more than that because the lines are barely noticeable at this point. Are we at the time? Okay, not quite an hour yet. Let's get the leaves for the flowers done, I think. For those, we're going to want a little bit of a lighter color though. The grass green and the dark green are very... Are you okay? Hello? What are you doing? She got an itchy nose. The grass green and the dark green are a little bit bold, and I don't quite want it to be that bold, so I think I'm I think I might actually change it up. I'm doing that a lot lately. I'm gonna grab the Kelly green, the sap green light, the pale sage, and the gray green light. I'm like digging the muted colors right now. I don't know why. And in that case, I think what I'm gonna do quick before I grab those colors is I'm gonna take the 10% French gray and I'm gonna color over these greens to kind of knock that back a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we want, not the Celadon green. What does that one look like? I think that's on my next page over. Oh yeah, no. Not that one. Okay, Kelly green, sap green lights, just this one. And then we want pale sage and gray green light. I don't know if we'll need the gray green light, but I figured I'd grab it just in case. I'll grab swatches for those. Sap, Kelly, pale sage, and gray green light. All right. So it's, as always, start with a base. I'm going to base it with the pale sage. And my pencil is a little bit dirty, so I'm going to clean it off. Okay. Let's make sure you guys can see. Move this down just a little bit just to be safe. And then I don't really know where to put this. It's not in the way. Maybe like right here on the duck, goose, swan. Okay, I'm just gonna lightly base the pale sage. Lightly base the leaves with the pale sage. Yep, that's what I meant. I don't exactly know what's going on here, to be honest. I think I need to pull up a Paige colored So we need the Hannah Lynn group. Nope, that's the wrong one. I need the VIP group. And then I need albums, spring reading. All right, let's see here. It's kind of hard to tell because a lot of people did the background as hill. So the greens are just kind of like all meshing together. Might have to wing it. I don't really know. I think let's do this one as a leaf. That way we can have some sky kind of coming in here. This is part of the daffodil. This will be a leaf. I got some leaves kind of coming in under the duck too. This one, I think I'll do that as sky, this as sky. And this would be a leaf, and this, and this. And I think this would be a leaf here. This is daffodil petals. Let's color in the vines of the flowers too. Stems, that's what they're called. I'm like not good with my words today. I think those are all of our leaves. So now let's go in with the Kelly green. That's going to be our darkest. And then I'm gonna start adding some shadows in here. I really want a decent amount of this Kelly green in here though. Maybe kind of color in this whole back part here. Kind of like that for that one, and then we'll do the bottom edge of this one. We'll go back to the left side for shadows on this one here. This whole top part kind of here will just be in shadow, I think. Just color this part in here. This one, a little bit of a shadow here. Let's do the bottom part of this one. And the right side of this one, I think. The left side of this one, left side of this one. Left side of this one, right side of this one. I'm just picking randomly. You guys could totally go opposite of me. It's totally fine. This side, this side, this side. Okay. I'm not too worried about my shadows for this page because as I said in one of the previous parts, my shadows already don't make sense. So at this point, I'm not worried about them making sense. I am more just worried about having them in there because that's what's going to give our picture a lot of depth and interest. I think that looks really good. I love this green up against this blue. That is so pretty. Okay, I don't know if we even need the sap green light, but let's try it just to see what happens. Okay, I don't mind it lightly, so let's use this to kind of go in and burnish our shadows because I don't want our shadows to lighten up too much. So I'm going to go in with a pretty firm pressure, and then I'm going to lighten my pressure up. And I'm going to fade this out, leaving just a slight highlight on the edges, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't think we need the gray-green light. I think I might skip that one. Or actually, I think we'll use the gray-green light, but I think we'll skip the pale sage, I think is the plan. The pale sage is quite a bit brighter. And I don't really want to brighten these up. I want them to stay muted. I'm like actually not thrilled about putting yellow on this page. So, but I'm also like OCD and I don't think I should color the daffodils a different color. I don't think daffodils come in a different color. I think they're just always yellow. But when I was looking them up, I did notice that some are like a really pale yellow, almost white. So I'll probably do that. I'm not gonna make them super bright and vivid. I'll keep them muted as well. Kind of go in with like a muted spring colors vibe here. Still don't quite know what to do with the blanket. I'm actually thinking gray at this point. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna try the pale sage. I might not like this, so I might not use it. So follow at your own risk. It's actually not that bad. Okay, I'm gonna do that one with the pale sage, and I'm gonna color the top of this one with the gray green light and kind of see what I like more. I think I do actually like the gray green light more. Okay, with the pale sage, color in this one if you want to follow me. And then we'll do this one. I'm just going to sporadically do them, I think. Let's do this one. I'm going to have more of the gray green light than the pale sage, though, I think is my plan. So maybe do some of the smaller ones with the pale sage. There's not too much of a difference, actually, but there's a slight difference. I think that's good there. So then with the gray green light, so we colored this one. So I'm just going to color all the other ones that we haven't done yet. Getting comfy again though. She's so cute. She's just curled up in a little ball in the box. Not so much little because she is a big cat. I think she might even be bigger than Stitch. I'm not sure. Weight-wise, I think she is. She's very chunky. And she's not even that chubby. She just weighs a lot. She's very solid. Okay, I like that. Let's go in with our dark green. On this one here. Just gonna kind of fade this down. Where else do we have stems? We got one here. Here. Put a light shadow around there. And we have a daffodil one here. I'm just going to color this one in completely with the dark green. I imagine this kind of curves down like this, so I'm just going to color this spot in. Okay, and then our grass green. I'm not burnishing, not with the grass green anyways. I did with the dark green. I want to keep a little bit of playroom with this because I think I'm going to go over with the gray green light to mute it just slightly. Totally forgot about this leaf. Oops. Okay, sap green light. I'm gonna come in from this side, leave a little bit of a highlight here, and then I'm just gonna color that in with the gray green light. There, that's better. All right, what are we at for time now? Only an hour and 12 minutes, that's crazy. Okay, well, we still have 2 parts left. I do want to kind of want to color in the picnic blanket. Let's do that because I'm going to use my grays and we've got them out anyways. So I was like looking at this earlier, like when we were at an hour, thinking like, oh my gosh, there's still so much to color. And I mean, there is, but there's not. So I'm going to color in these little squares here. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. This is the 30%. Okay, 70% with the proper color. I'm going to color in these squares. I'm going to do the blanket real simple. I don't want to make like a big fuss over it. I'm going to add a shadow along where she's laying. I'm going to keep it very thin. Just slightly fade that out a little bit. Okay, with the 30% cool gray, I'm going to color in these stripes. Using a medium pressure, but I'm not really burnishing. I'm going to lightly go over this shadow and just extend it a little bit more. I'm going to put a shadow in underneath the book here. Underneath here. I'm going to switch back to the 70% cool gray because I think I want to shade this in a little bit there. And then I do want to make this darker as well underneath the book. Just like that. All right, and then with the 10% cool gray, actually, maybe let's grab the 20% cool gray. I want it to be a little bit darker than the 10%. Okay, so 20% cool gray. We're just going to go in and color everything else in. Using a medium pressure, still not quite burnished, just in case I want to add a little bit more shadows, which I might, because it's still looking a little flat. I want it to be simple looking, but not really flat looking. It's not bad. I think I need some more 70% cool gray though. I'm going to darken up these areas a little bit more. And then just kind of add these shadows back in a little bit, I think is what I'll do. There we go. I think I like that better. Just gonna lightly go over these lines a little bit too to darken these up, I think. Just very, very lightly. There we go. I like that. And then I'm just gonna grab my 10% French gray and color in this spot here because I think I missed it. It was still very blank. That's better. Okay, any final touches on these parts? I'm happy with her dress. I think I'm happy with the, oh, actually we didn't finish the stems on the flowers. So I said we were going to use the gray-green lights. And I'm going to burnish those with this. So that kind of dulls it down a little bit. It's still bright in color, but it's a little bit toned down. There we go. I don't really think that I want to add any highlights on the leaves. I think I want to leave them as is because they're already pretty light. I think the book is fine. The picnic blanket's fine. Her dress is perfect as is. I don't want to add anything else to that. So I think we are good for this part. Oh, she looks so cute. Pull her down this way because there's always a shadow kind of created from my shelf here. So this is what she's looking like so far. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to complete her. I definitely think we should do this little guy white, and then I think with like a black beak. So I think like a swan. I will look that up and see. I don't really want to add too much yellow. I really don't. I think the pale yellow for the daffodils will probably be enough. I'm also going to look up to see if there's different colored daffodils to kind of see our options there. I know I could just color it a different color, but my brain is just, it's got to be the color that they are in nature. I don't know why I'm like this. Don't ask. That's just how it is. But anyways, I'm really enjoying this so far. I really hope you guys are too. I don't think there's really a whole lot else to say for now, except for the fact that I'm super excited to meet you guys in part 4. So hopefully I'll see you there. As always, take care and I'll see you next time. Bye!